So I think first and foremost, I'm not a Dave East fan. You'll never catch me checking on Dave East. I'm not one to listen to Dave East. I think when he first came out, when Nas announced him, I heard about two songs from him because I was like, oh man, he's signed to Nas. He must be sick. So I heard about two songs. I think it was from like a mixtape, and I was like, nah, this is not it. Like I'm not really into Dave East. So I had no idea that Karma 3 was out. Somebody in the YouTube comment section put me on. And that's what it's all about, really, man. It's all about the comment section and having a discussion about this kind of thing. So Karma 3 is out. Dave East. Again, I'm not a Dave East fan. I'm not checking for Dave East the same way I'm not checking for Lil Pump or whatever it is. I'm not checking for Dave East same way I'm not checking for Lil Pump. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But I think honestly, the best type of person to review an album is somebody who's not like into the artist that much. I think you get more of an objective point of view that way, as opposed to someone who's a genuine fan and who's just like, all over Dave East. For me personally, again, I don't listen to Dave East, so going into this album, I wasn't expecting much. I was expecting the same Dave East that I heard from two mixtapes ago. No, not two mixtapes ago. From two mixtapes 5 years ago, I think it was. So I went into this with an open mind. A little bit biased because again, I'm not checking for Dave East, but it turns out Dave East is actually not that bad. I'm not saying that I've changed my mind about him. I'm just saying that it's actually not that bad. First things first is when you listen to Karma 3, it's not a mixtape. That is like the first thing that you will notice is that when you listen to Karma 3, it is not a mixtape. It's a genuine album. So with that being said, he's taken time to treat this project like an album as opposed to a mixtape where you're just throwing a bunch of shit around and not even taking care of how you're constructing it. This here is an album, and I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that Davies has taken the time. He's got the right producers, he's got the right beat makers, and he's gone in and he's created this album. And I think it is fair to say that this is a Davis album as opposed to a Dave East mixtape. So if you were introducing somebody, say like a bunch of aliens came from Mars, and you and you were trying to introduce them to Dave East, you would show them Karma 3. I think that's a fair assessment. I think Karma 3 is what you would show aliens as an introduction to Dave East. Handsome, the first song, Handsome, one of my favorites on here. I think it's smooth. I think it's slick. I think the way he goes about his verses on here are really really nice. There is something about Handsome that's been bothering me though, and I heard Handsome and I was like, I know that sample. Hold on, I'll show you guys. Can you hear that sample? Can you hear that sample? Doesn't that sound like a T-Pain sample? Hold on, let me try and get you the T-Pain song. 1 second. What do you think? Am I right? What y'all think? I think I'm right. I think that's a T-Pain sample, man. I think that's a T-Pain sample. As soon as I heard Handsome, I was like, yo, I know that sample. I know where he got that sample from. Interestingly enough, as I'm listening to this, I'm picking up a few samples that he's using, but I go into this objectively, man. So Handsome was dope. I thought Handsome was a great track. For the most part, the album has got some really really nice tracks. Here we go. You ready? I paid for 2, the plug sent me 3. I beat that pussy like an NPC. You guys recognize where that's from? Me. I paid for stars, I just pray that I don't get shot. I know they envy me. I paid for 2, the plug sent me 3. I beat that pussy like an NPC. I wanted millions, my nigga from the. You guys recognize where that's from? I know they envy me. I'm Rap's MVP, and I ain't going nowhere, so you can get to know me. You guys see where that's from? Hold on. Go ahead, envy me. I'm Rap's MVP, and I ain't going nowhere, so you can get to know me.
be me. I paid for 2, the plug sent me 3. I beat that pussy like an NPC. I want a million.
Right? Am I the only one? Like, yo, I'm picking up a lot of things from this album, man. So just to let you guys know, I did listen to the album. I'm not just saying a bunch of stuff to like please people or annoy people. Like, I genuinely listened to this album and I was picking up a lot of stuff. Like, I was picking up a lot of stuff. So interesting, very very interesting, man. Let's try to be objective, man. That bar right there, he got that from Game. The sample in Handsome, that's from T-Pain, which is nothing wrong. Like, if you listen to my beats, a lot of my beats have got samples on them, so ain't nothing wrong with that. But it was just interesting to pick up, because as I was listening to it, I was paying attention to the songs while I was listening to them, and I was just kind of like picking up all this stuff, and I was like, whoa, crazy, man. And that's the world of sampling, really. That's how it goes. But no, let's continue with the album. So I think it's a solid project. I'm not a big fan of a lot of the features here. The City with Trey Songz, that was such a dope tune. It was such a nice song. Trey Songz does his thing. And this is the other thing. I hate it when people auto-tune. Why do people still auto-tune? And I hate it when they auto-tune their entire career. Like, don't auto-tune your entire career. If you're struggling to sing, get someone like Trey Songz on the hook. Trey Songz does it well. Amazing. This one right here, number 10. Ooh. That right there. That one right there, it came out of nowhere. So I explained to you guys. So I listened to this album about 3 times. The first time I heard it, it played as it would appear on the album. The second time I heard it, I shuffled it, right? So I shuffled it the second time I played it. And when I heard that Young Dolph feature, I was like, this is a dope song. But for some reason, the second time when I was shuffling the album and I heard that Young Dolph track, I was so hyped, man. As soon as that came on, I was like, yo. I was like, this is insane. That's a dope track. I really liked it. You guys know how I feel about Benny the Butcher. You guys know how I feel about Griselda. Having said that, I'm not feeling that chick from Griselda. What's her name? Caesar something. I forgot what her name is. I think she's absolutely trash, bro. But shouts out to everyone else in Griselda. So Benny the Butcher, Conway, Westside Gun. Man, Benny the Butcher is having a really, really good debut season to his career. I know it's been 2 years now, but he's really doing a good job, man. Benny the Butcher, shouts out to him all day. He doesn't have to rap according to somebody else's flow. You know, like how when you're on a feature, you kind of have to blend in with the main artist's flow and sort of try to blend into that song. Benny the Butcher doesn't do that, man. Benny the Butcher just does his own thing, and then you can see like Dave East trying to keep up. It's good. It's good. So Stone Cold Killer, Handsome, City, fuck that with Young Dolph. Envy's a good song as well. I'm not feeling the Mary J. Blige song. I'm really, really not feeling the Mary J. Blige song, and I'm also not feeling the last one, the Believe It or Not. Because if you ask me to believe it or not, I'm not gonna believe it. But man, all in all, it's a solid project, man. I think if you were to introduce Dave East to someone, I think you would have to tell them, oh, go listen to Karma 3. If you tell someone who's never heard Dave East before to listen to Karma 3, I think that would help them form like a solid opinion of what to expect from Dave East moving down the road. However, I don't know, man. I'm still not checking for Dave East. It's not to say that this project wasn't good. This project is the best Dave East project out there. Better than his mixtapes, better than his last 2 or 3. Those were those were like, I don't want to say trash and I don't want to say overrated. But Karma 3, I think, is a solid project by Dave East. I think it really, really brings out Dave East as an artist. I think the features were great. I think the beats were great, and it's a solid project, man. If you're doing an album, this is what an album should be like. It's 15 songs, really, really good production, really good features. They've taken their time to lay down the verses. They've taken their time to lay down the hooks, and it's solid, man. I like it. I like Karma 3. Am I going to keep Karma 3 on my playlist? No, maybe not. Maybe not. But that's just a preference. You cannot force people to like what you like. You know, that's a weird one. But I don't know. It's for me. It's a solid project. I'm not keeping it on my playlist. I'm not checking for Dave East. I can appreciate Karma 3 for what it is. It's a really solid project. But yeah, my opinion still remains the same about Dave East. But objectively, I think Karma 3 is a dope project. Right? Right? Karma 3 is a dope project, man. Karma 3 is alright. It's alright. It's alright. Alright, I'm out, man. Peace.